Spawning in the top left position of the map that is Whirlwind, we have the red Protoss player from Team IG. It is Jim. You guys may know him as Jim Credible. I don't know. I feel like there's a big hype train that I missed about Jim. I've heard a lot about this guy. I've never actually seen him play, but he is up 1-0 in this best of 3. If he wins, he advances to the winners round of this group. This works pretty much like anything else, really, as far as big groups go for tournament play like this. So the top 2 players advance, bottom 2 players are out. So, and in the top right position, spawning as our blue Terran player, it is going to be none other than Complexity's TheStC. So, I'm particularly excited about this season of Russian Starleague. I think we actually have any statistics here available. As far as the first group went, I unfortunately found myself befuddled with another person that caused me to miss the first group. So, I wanted to at least take a quick check. Group A, we had Starleague, sort of Mana and Supernova, and we actually saw that Starleague and Supernova, 2 Terran players, did advance out of Group A, so those guys are going to be in the big bracket, as it were, for the Russian Starleague. And keep in mind, we have Groups A through H. There's quite a few good players here, and like I said, top 2 players are going to advance. So I'm actually really excited for this match. We have a pretty interesting build here from the TheStC. He's going to go for a gas first build, which means he wants to head straight for that factory tech, which is going to open up, a couple options for him. He can go for the Widowmine drop. He can go for super fast Hellbats. He can go for Batman. There's lots of things to do, lots of things to see, and hundreds of probes to kill before he sleeps. And just pumping out Marines. No add-on just yet for the TheStC, so this does look like it's going to be a straight-up Widowmine drop. Could go for Banshee. Banshee, not so popular anymore. I like that Jim is actually going for only 3 probes mining off of these 2 assimilators. It makes it very hard to scout. And this is good for him because it also allows him to expand very quickly and then immediately move into that gas if he wants to. I like it. It's a cute play. And he also gets the Mothership Core out fast enough that he can defend against this. This is something that we actually don't see too much, that he gets the 2 gases, and then instead of going 2 per, he goes 1 on one and then 2 on the other, and that gets that Nexus out a little bit faster. So, already seeing some creative play here from our Chinese player, and in the meantime, our Korean Terran, TheStC, getting that starport up in the Widowmine. This is just going to be a really fast Widowmine drop. You can go for forward Marine pressure as well, but although Mothership Core is building up a good amount of energy, so it should have a Photon Overcharge available by the time there's any serious threat on the field. And Jim is actually going to Chrono Boost out a Stalker as well. He's got double gas, completely saturated, so he still has an option to go for tech. Of course, he isn't going to throw it down until the Stalker kills the SCV. That's one of the reasons why he Chrono Boosted it. Kill the SCV and then immediately throw it on your tech, because he is going to build a Sentry, which is, I guess, going to be a slight tell. I feel like this means he wants to go for Robo. And yeah, it's going to be a robotics facility. Of course, he wouldn't have quite enough gas to jump straight into Stargate in this kind of situation. So, going to kill those destructible rocks. And the TheStC, he's got that medevac on the way. He has a mine on the field. I believe there should be a second mine coming out. Actually, he's going to go straight into Hellions. Really an interesting decision from TheStC. Basically, use the mine to push all of the probes out of the base, and then the Hellions to just catch them. And this is actually a really, really smart play, because if he can get those probes to line up, he can do so much damage. And this medevac picking up the Marines. This is it. 6 Marines and a Widowmine, and then 2 Hellions in the natural. This is a cute little play that we've seen become more and more popular among Terran players that want to really put on some aggression that can punish fast Mothership Cores. So this should be interesting. The medevac's going to swing around to the side. The question is, where does TheStC want to take this? Going straight on top of these units is such a ballsy move. TheStC is just going to drop on the Stalker and the Sentries. And I like this. He's going to trigger the Photon Overcharge in the natural. The Hellions are going to run in here. The Widowmine's going to burrow. And that Widowmine is waiting for the probes to try to evacuate. So much damage actually already being done by the TheStC. The Hellions actually going to get on these probes. Really nice. The Widowmine will go off on one of the probes. But TheStC's actually killed a pretty good chunk of probes so far this game. That's not bad at all. 8 workers killed. Of course, his expansion is much later, so he's still behind in workers. He wants to do a little bit more damage. Unfortunately, for the STC, Jim Incredible does have his Observer out. So he's not going to take much more damage. And we do have the Armory following up behind this, so he might just go straight. This build actually looks strangely familiar. Okay, he's going to lift the factory off. I was going to say, there's no way he's going to go for a mech opening with a fast drilling claws, but it looks like he's going to transition into Hellbat drops, which are almost never bad to go for as a Terran. Although at this stage, it's much easier to defend as the Protoss player. He wasn't able to kill off the sentries, which is very, very important. Jim will have his force fields returned to him eventually. He still has the Stalker for the anti-air. And that attack, as cool as it was, the probe timing for the pull was perfect out of our Protoss player. He's going to scout. He sees everything that's going on. He's like, okay, I know what's happening. He's going to throw in the 2 racks, go in the bio, go for the stim. But these Hellbats are going to have a hard time doing anything because now he sees, okay, well, he's picking them up. He's like, my hallucinated Phoenix is on top of your medevac. You are not, it's like you are not getting in unexpected. And yeah, kind of rough. So we do have the medevac moving across the field for the STC, and these units are already here for Jim. The observer placement is really, really smart. And this is actually really nice, you know, being able to catch Jim. This guy doesn't do anything really weird, it doesn't seem. He just kind of plays very, very solid. But, ooh, this drop might be able to do a lot of damage. Just kill a couple of probes, nothing serious. He managed to pick off 4 there, so not bad for our complexity Terran player. He's going to zip around to the main base for an overcharge. He's going to activate. He's just going to go in anyway. He's going to try to focus on the probes with these Hellbats. He's actually doing a little bit of damage here. This is actually quite nice. You know, losing the medevac, though, does hurt so much because even though he's killed 16 probes this game, total worker count, 34 SCVs, 38 probes. He's almost killed enough. The problem is now we're going to see the counterattack come in, and there's no Vikings on the field. Stimpak is going to complete soon. He has this Hellbat job prepared, but he's going to need to do his best to hold this bunker. I'm curious, is there range upgrade for the Colossus? No. So what Jim wants to do is just completely brute force his way through. He doesn't have the range in the Colossus, which means that he's not going to be able to slowly poke away. He wants to just kill the STC right now. And you can just see this Chinese player with this perfect timing realizing, you know what, I can just bust you straight up. You not have enough to hold me after going for the Hellbat drops right out of the Widowmine drop. And a really well executed counterattack here from Jim. STC has to pull back that little bit of a worker disparage that we discussed earlier. I mean, the Hellbat drop did go back at the same time. He's killed off a lot of Jim's probes, but if STC does not hold this attack, he's going to lose this game. The only thing that's really working in STC's favor is that the Colossus does not have range. He's going to try to move in here. The Marauders getting their damage in. He needs to focus on that Colossus, or his SCVs will not be able to be very useful when they're pulled. But STC, I mean, he's hanging in there for now, but every stim is going to bring him closer to death. 2 Vikings are on their way out. And like I said, I feel like medevacs would be better just because these Marauders, there's no range on the Colossus. He can get up close and personal. The Colossus cannot fight unless it is within range of the Marauders. And the Vikings are doing what they can. The SCVs are all going to get pulled. STC realizes it's do or die right now. The Vikings, though, not able to kill them off. And this Colossus is 12 kills. It's done so much damage. Still alive. Jim Credible with this 6 hit point Colossus going ham on these Marauders. And now he will be able to pick it off because of that range disparage. But it's too late. It's too late. STC's lost too much. GG and a 2-0 victory here for Jim. Very, very nice play here from our Chinese Protoss player. So he's actually going to be the first player to advance into the winners round. So in our winners match. So STC is going to go to the losers round. He will play the loser of our next match, guys, which is going to be White Raw versus Ret. I don't actually have